Okay, so we'll pick up where part one left off. I've already highlighted the advertiser ID column. This usually takes my computer like a minute to do because there's over a million plus lines. But anyway, once I have it highlighted, and I don't know if this is necessary programmatically, this is just what we do manually, but you can see that it's a number stored as text. So what I do is go to Data, Text to Columns, Fixed Width, and then Finish. This will run for a second and turn everything into, there we go. And then I just home and change it to a number format. Again, I don't know if that's necessary, but I just usually do that to make sure my index matches aren't messed up. Okay, and you'll see that I've actually already copied, I can't remember if this was on the last video, but I copied all the campaigns from Advertisers 2 tab over to Advertisers. Like I might have said this in the first video, but might not have recorded, is that we probably need to build automation to handle multiple tabs, because as we keep building campaigns, they're just eventually we'll have 2 million campaigns and on, right? So we probably need to build it to handle 2 separate tabs and do the same process on both sheets. Okay, so all right, so now that we have the advertiser ID in the proper format, the account name. So each of these campaigns, right, is it'll have a status over here. So the first thing I do is filter by campaign stat, or filter the whole thing. And I go to campaign status and I find all the deleted campaigns and I remove them from this list. So if you remember from the first video, this whole list is every campaign that exists for YP. But if the status of the campaign is deleted, we can't turn it back on again. So in all effect, it doesn't exist for us, where we would have to build it again anyway. We've since stopped deleting campaigns. That was done by the last agency. We just pause them now, so it's not an issue going on, but we have about 300,000 that are. So I'm going to sort by campaign status, and I've got a custom sort list built in here, deleted, active, paused. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And it'll order all my campaigns deleted first after it freezes, because that's what it does with this file this big. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to zoom down to active. Let's see, by columns, find next. Okay, so essentially everything above here, yeah, about 300,000 campaigns. We're going to go up, delete those out, because again, if they don't really exist if they're deleted. So we need to get rid of those before we do anything else. Okay, so now I've got my whole list of campaigns. This is probably 740,000 campaigns that exist that I'm checking against. And the way we check to see what type of campaign it is, you have all these columns up here, but the campaign name itself doesn't really tell you anything. It just tells you the customer ID and then dash the business name. But the account name that it resides in, that will tell you what type of campaign it is. So like for this one, here's the campaign name, which doesn't tell you much, but over here it's in a DSA MIP remarketing, right? Contractors and construction, DSA MIP remarketing. 4 is just because we hit the Google account limit sometimes, but this is the important part, the DSA MIP remarketing. That tells me what type of campaign this is, right? DSA MIP remarketing. So the way we do this manually is put a fake header in there, is an if is number search. So if is number search, and the first thing I find is remarketing, because I don't want those, so I need to find those first. I believe the column is F2. Not F2. What is that? G2. Okay. So I'm basically just searching the account name cell. And if it's true, I'm going to put in remarketing. And if it's false, I'm going to start another if is number search. Okay, so now I'm going to find DSA. And because remarketing will ping first, I can do this, so it'll show me if it's remarketing before we get to the DSA logic within G2. If that is true, DSA. If not, another one, if is number search. So I'm just basically doing nested if statements with the if is number search. Then I want to find search MIP. That one has to be spelled out like that in G2. If that is true, then search MIP. And then if it's false, I just put other. So it's every other type of campaign, GDN, etc. Let it finish out my columns. Okay, so we can see here that this shows that this one is, and I'll do a few here just so you can see it. So now we got like DSA, remarketing, and that makes sense because this is a remarketing account right here. This is DSA. I don't think we have any search MIP here, but either way, I'm going to fill that all the way down because this will give me my identifiers to what type of campaign it is. So usually this doesn't take very long. There we go. Okay, cool. So now that I have that, I'm actually going to, no, you should already have the file with the formulas. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste values. Everything takes about 20 seconds. Hopefully this doesn't matter. I think this is why it messed up the last video. I just upgraded the video software, so hopefully that doesn't do it. It's really strange. I wonder if the screen recorder is making it work harder. Probably, because it's got the processors being taken up by that as well. It's okay. There we go. Okay, so copy, paste, and just paste the values. All right, so now I've got which campaigns are which, and I've already deleted the deleted ones. So now I'm ready. I'm going to do unfilter the whole thing, and then I'm just going to sort the whole thing A to Z. I think most of this video is dead space, what you just watching me, my computer process. Okay, so now I've got them in order. DSA, I'm going to go find, I think remarketing, if I'm doing my alphabet right, should be the first one. It is not. Other. So all I'm doing here is just finding by columns, and I'm going down to the bottom of the DSA list. There we go. So once I have that, I'm going to take the DSA, and I'm going to copy up all the advertiser IDs. Okay, so now that I have these advertiser IDs, essentially this is telling me for all these advertiser IDs, these all have DSA campaigns. They already exist. So I'm going to take it over to my copy of SEM Facts, where we see who has budget, and I'm going to copy it over. And this is going to be DSA exists. And then I'm going to do the exact same process, except this time I'm going to do it for search MIP. And again, manually I'm doing this differently than you will, but I just insert a line here, go down to the bottom, search MIP is last. I grab all the advertiser IDs, which is column E, just like I did with DSA. Take my facts over again, and search MIP. Search MIP exists. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close the campaign performance. Give that a minute to save. Because the rest of the work we can do, that's it for the campaign performance report. Again, the overall thing we're trying to do is really just find which campaigns already, or which CIDs already have that campaign type. And so I've effectively done that. Okay, perfect. I'm going to close this out so it doesn't mess with our video anymore. Perfect. Facts. Okay, so I'm back in the facts file. Again, I don't know if this matters programmatically, but I'm changing this to number just to make it the same format as this. And then I'm going to do a little column here, has DSA, has search MIP. And then I'm going to quickly index this. Exists. And the rest of this is kind of self-explanatory. I'm just doing index matches against the exists list. And I'm matching up the, oh, you know what? I forgot a step. I got to sort this by budget first. I'm going to find the first column that has 0 in it because I want to find my 0 budgets. And then really I want to find anything that has less than $1, so it starts right here. If that's too difficult to do, the first 0 is fine. If they have a small budget, it's fine too. This step is not that important. So whatever's easier for you. If it's either, but we just don't want to include ones that have a 0 budget. Okay, so then I'm going to do my quick index matches here. I'll match it against the customer ID in the SCM fax list. Grab the second column. I'm just going to copy this formula and do that for search MIP as well, which is O and P. Referencing O. Perfect, okay. Now I'm going to go down here. This might take a minute. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. All right, I'm going to stop. Actually, no, I'm going to keep going on this. All right. Usually I would have sorted these, but that makes it go a little faster to sort the CIDs, largest to smallest, all 3 lists. So the master list of facts and then the 2 lists here. But I didn't, so we're gonna have to watch my computer process for a minute. I don't know how easy this is to edit, but maybe I'll try to edit real quick to make it smaller. You don't have to watch my computer count. But if you're hearing this, then I didn't figure it out. All right, I'll be back in 1 second when this is done. Okay, looks like we're good. These formulas you already have in the other sheet, so I'm going to go ahead and copy paste values here. Okay, and essentially all I'm trying to find, so this just tells me each CID, all 50,000 or whatever it is, 46,000 that have budget, and then I'm just going to filter here and figure out which ones are NA, which means it did not find it, which means it does not have a campaign, which means we need to build it. Okay, so these are all my campaigns for DSA, all my CIDs anyway. And I've got 110. So 110 campaigns or CIDs, DSA to build. I'm going to make another column and do the same thing for search MIP to build. Okay, find next, down, perfect. And I've got 4,562. Do the same thing here. These are my search MIP to build. And I believe that's where I ended this video last time, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But essentially, all this whole thing was to find what actually exists, which CIDs have existing DSA, which CIDs have existing search MIP, and then compare that to the new fax file that comes in, find everything that has a monthly budget of $1 or more, and then find which ones don't have DSA. So all these NAs down here are the ones that don't have a DSA MIP or don't have a search MIP. Then you make 2 separate lists, and there's a DSA to build, search MIP to build. So now we have our final CID list: 110 DSA we need to build, and 4,562 search MIP that we need to build. And that's it. I think I can pause it there. The next video picks up with what to do with these lists once we know what to build.